Okay, Legion is absolutely awesome. I'm sure you could tell by the tone of my voice that I'm super excited over this game. I haven't been this addicted since Wrath. I mean, I've played this game since right before Wrath launched, a couple months beforehand, so a little bit at the end of BC, and I've never felt this addicted to the point where, like, I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I can't stop thinking about the world that I'm experiencing. I can't stop thinking about all the things that I have to do. In a good way, though. There's so much endgame content that it's gonna take me forever to get through. And most of it isn't stuff that I need to rush either. I still have another artifact weapon to do. I still have some reps to work on, which isn't holding me back from progressing in what I need to progress in. But, you know, I have so many things that I can unlock and so many places I can still see. And it's crazy to think that this game has gone from Warlords, which was absolutely atrocious, to the fact that, like, now I'm so happy that I can't play anything else. I feel guilty playing League of Legends. I feel guilty playing my Wii. Like, I feel like all my time has to get devoted to WoD, or not WoD, to Legion. Warlords, just go away! The point of this is, I just want to kind of go over some of my initial thoughts and my impressions on the game so far, kind of like where I want to see the game go, what I think works, what I think doesn't work, and I want to revisit it in maybe a month and a half after the arena season is out for a couple weeks, because I'm actually going to be doing PvP this expansion. Not going to do too much of the raiding. I might just do, you know, LFR and some mythic dungeons or something, but I'm not really going to go past that. But I do want to see what's working now, kind of evaluate it in a month's time and see if things have gotten better, things have gotten worse, because we all know that Warlords of Draenor had a great launch and it just fell off immediately after. So let's just talk a little bit about the leveling process really quick. I don't want to get too in depth about it, but man, this was a great leveling experience. I have to tell you that. The world quests, you know, the little zones that pop up, those were great. Overall, the lore is pretty good. Valshara, I think? Yeah, that's how you say it. Great zone. I think that one's easily my favorite. Beautiful zone, the music was great, and also the whole Malfurion questline was pretty awesome, so not gonna spoil it, but that was pretty cool. Stormheim, beautiful. I didn't even finish Stormheim yet, because I actually hit 110 right before, I think I have like 3 quest lines left in Stormheim. I actually, this is the first time I've ever done every quest in every zone as I leveled. Usually once I hit, like, you know, the 2 level mark, I jump to the next zone. Didn't feel the need to do that because everything scaled, so I actually got to experience the zones as they were intended, and it was pretty awesome. Good job to Blizzard on that, because that really worked out. But now, when I get the time, I'm gonna go back and finish up Stormheim, finish up Suramar questlines too, so that I can get the flying and be done with that. Because if I'm gonna be doing PvP on PvP Realm, I might want to fly away from some scenarios. Yeah, overall, I don't really have much to say about the leveling process other than the fact that the world content and the rares and just the questlines in general, top notch. High Mountain was also a great zone, even though I know people were really hating on High Mountain, but yep, leveling. 2 thumbs up to Blizzard for leveling, because that was just spot on. I never liked leveling. I really enjoyed leveling here. Let's talk a little bit about the artifacts. So the artifacts are pretty much, it is the only weapon you're ever going to use for this whole expansion. The only issue I have with the artifacts is that I think it's not going to be alt friendly. It's already not off-spec friendly. I have to kind of do more research on what I'm supposed to do about my Frost, because I'm a Fire Mage now. I don't know what I'm going to do about my Frost off-spec, and hell knows what I'm going to do about Arcane. Luckily, Arcane's really not playable at the moment, but I don't know, like, let's just say you're, you know, a druid, right? And you want to have 4 artifact weapons. You're not going to be able to maintain those at a competitive rate. Like, that's just not something you can get them all up to 13, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like alts and then off specs are not really in that good of shape right now. I know that the devs said that they're going to implement a catch-up process and that's going to be great, but at least at the start of the expansion, they're really focusing on having that one main character and the main spec, regardless of the fact that you can switch whenever you want. I think it's a good thing because all these years, nobody really had class identity. Like, yeah, you played a druid, but you can play all the specs, you can switch whenever you want. The only limitation you had was gear, but now that that's been taken away, the really only limitation that you have is the fact that your artifact weapon and, you know, your off-spec artifact weapons are the only thing that are really keeping you from switching. So in a way, I'm glad because now I can tell people I'm a fire mage. I'm not just a mage. You know, in the past it was I played a warrior, but I, you know, played arms and fury. No. Now I am a fire mage. I'm also Cyd the Fury warrior, even though she's still at 100. She will get to 110 eventually. But yeah, I'd like to see that being addressed somewhat quickly because I do want to level up an alt. I just feel right now that if I put any time into this game that's not devoted towards my fire mage progression, I feel like I'm kind of at a loss. I'm already 2 days behind because I kind of got stuck at work and it took me a while to level. As far as artifacts go, other than that, absolutely great. I think the town system's awesome. I like the fact that no matter what I do, I get artifact power. And even if it's only 10 artifact power, it still feels really good to add that to my weapon. It still feels right to be able to just log on for a few minutes and do whatever I want. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the class halls. Now, class halls at a glance are pretty much just garrisons 2.0, but this is what garrisons should have been. You know, you keep this area that's sectioned off, right? It's like a completely different instance zone, and you can, you know, start up your missions, you can get work orders going, all that stuff. What's nice now is that the work orders kind of take a longer period of time, so you're not going back every half hour. And it's also cool because you can hire like other people of your class, so it's very class-centric. Going to Legion, the devs said that they wanted to make this feel like they wanted to go back to the grassroots of the game, like, you know, you are a warrior, these are warrior things that you're going to be doing. That's really apparent now. Like, that really feels really good right now. So with the class halls, seeing other little mages running around with the artifacts is pretty sick. Kudos to them. I also like the fact that some of these quests take 12 hours to complete. Fine by me. I don't have the time to sit here and go every half hour to my garrisons, otherwise I fall behind everybody else, so that's a nice change. I also want to talk a little bit about world quests. Now, I did my first world quest today. I actually got so addicted to them, I ended up doing ones for zones I didn't even have, and I did all my world quests for the next 3 days. I went and I did ones in Valshara, I did ones in Suramar, and I did ones in Azuna. And what was super cool was that they were all completely different. They were zones that I had quested in, so I kind of knew the areas. And the best part about the entire thing, honestly, to me, was the fact that I saw other players. It was cool to go out into the world and see other people doing the same thing that I'm doing, alongside people who are questing and leveling. And it feels like a world now. It feels like the world of Warcraft that I fell in love with so many years ago. God, I just got so excited there. But it's the fact that, like, now I have a reason to go out to the world, and it gives me bonuses. It gives me that artifact power that I'm looking for. It gives me gold. It gives me random little toys. Like, it's so rewarding to go out and just go out into the world and do whatever I want. I can find little treasures. It's so awesome to think that, like, this is the game that we're gonna have for probably the next 2 to 3 years, probably closer to 2. My biggest issue with Legion is what it's gonna be like in 3 months. You know, when people are actually starting to finish up their artifact weapons, and content is probably not gonna come out as fast as it did at the beginning of Warlords, where they had like a 4-week high mall period. Like, what was that? I wanna see where the game is once we get to that point. Now, this raid's been out for a couple months. Are we bored? Do we have other things to do? Are world quests still doable? Are people actually having fun still doing these world quests? How many world quests are there? How different are they? Those are the questions that I have. That's really my only concern about Legion right now, is just the playability in the future. But from what I can see at the launch, for me just taking a wild guess, I think we're gonna be fine as long as people are able to catch up on alts easily. You could start the expansion off with 1 main spec and be okay, but once you start getting into the alts, people get really touchy. I know people who have tons of alts. They're not gonna wanna have to sit through doing all of this. It is time consuming, it really is, but maybe the direction of World of Warcraft is not alt friendly. Maybe they wanna go back to the grassroots of you have the 1 character, or maybe the 2 characters that you play, and that's what you are. Maybe they don't want these profession bots and everything. Basically, to sum this all up, I'm really excited about this game. I think it's gonna be great. I think there's gonna be a ton of replayability, and personally, I'm kind of upset that I didn't just spend the last 10 minutes on it. Instead, I was recording this. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let's chat a little bit about Legion, if you do play it. Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.